and gentlemen, and welcome to today's episode of Supernatural Sundays. I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone who has liked the videos, subscribed to the channel. Please keep it coming. We enjoy your comments. I read your comments, even though I don't always get a chance to respond. I do read your comments, and I thank you, each and every one of you, for commenting on videos. Now, that being said, we're going to jump into season 4, of course, episode, I think this is going to be, let me check my handy dandy notes here. And this is going to be episode 5. Now, this one is called Monster Movie. This is a great episode. It's a little offbeat or different from what we've been having so far with angels and that kind of thing. And it goes back to the comedy style of the show, which is great. It's always great to have these comedy episodes mixed in with the monotony of everything else. So, this episode, like I said, it's called Monster Movie. It's around Halloween. And the boys are hunting a shapeshifter who is enthralled with the classic movie monsters like Dracula, Wolfman, and the Mummy. It's a very lighthearted episode that pays homage to the black and white classic monster movies of yesteryear. Some of this, I don't think it's the whole thing, but some of this episode is filmed in black and white, which is what I mean by paying homage to the original classic monster movies. This episode has Todd Starchwick as Dracula, and he's also played in the movie called The Rundown with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Also played in You, Me, and Dupree, which I've never seen that, but I love Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson's great. And he also did 12 episodes of the CW series, The Originals, about vampires, which I never did watch yet. But a lot of people have said that it's an excellent show. It also stars Michael Eklund, who plays Ed Brewer. And he's played in some good movies. He played in The Call, which I have not watched that yet. I did buy it because it has Tobin Bell from the Saw films in it. I haven't watched it yet, like I said, but I'm going to watch it. And he also played in a movie called Antlers. Now, me and Mike, we did sit and watch that movie. It's an excellent movie, It builds up suspense and horror so well. If you haven't seen that, please check that out. And he also played a role in See No Evil 2 with WWE superstar and mayor Kane. This episode also has a Carmen Levine in it. She was in the Watchmen movie, had a small part in it. She played in The Man of Steel. And she also did one episode of Arrow on the CW network. So, great actors and actresses, a great episode. So, with that being said, here is a scene or some clips from Season 4, Episode 5, Monster Movie. Here we go.
Remember you?
Yeah, and I remember you, Jamie. I never forget a pretty everything. We're looking for Ed Brewer.
What do you want with Ed?
Well, we are federal agents. Mr. Brewer was witness to a serious crime. We just need to...
Wait a minute, you're a Fed? Wow, you don't come on like a Fed. Seriously?
I'm a maverick, man. A rebel with a badge. One thing I don't play by, the rules. Okay, Maverick. So where can we find Mr. Brewer?
It was just after midnight. I just left here, and like I do every night, I cut through the park on the way home. At first, I thought it was a couple kissing, but she was struggling too much. And this man, he was biting her neck.
Can you describe her assailant?
Oh, he was a vampire.
Okay, right. And by that you mean...
You know, a vampire.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So he looked like...
He looked like a vampire. You know, with the fangs and the slick back hair and the fancy cape and the little medallion thingy on the ribbon.
You mean like a Dracula?
Exactly. Like a Dracula. Right down to the accent.
The accent. What did he say?
You know, something like... Stay away, mortal. The night is mine. You do believe me, don't you?
Good evening. I have watched you for many nights from afar. My passion knows no bounds, Mina. You are the reincarnation of my beloved, and I must have you. Ah! Mary, son of a...
Baby! Son of a bitch.
You should not use such language in the presence of my bride.
Okay.
Okay, like I said, you know, this episode pays homage to some of the original classic monster movies of yesteryear. It's a simple plot. You know, it's a monster of the week type deal, simple plot, but yet it's put together it's very effective and entertaining. It's one of the best standalone episodes of season 4. There's many of these, but this one is one of the best. The way Dracula was portrayed was great. It was like he was living the original Dracula film, down to calling Dean Harker and Lucy was, you know, his Lucy, his resurrected Lucy, or reincarnated Lucy. It was great. It was funny. Sam was funny in it. I love these episodes because it gives Jared and Jensen a chance to show off their comedic side. They are very funny, very funny set of guys, and I love when they get the chance to play that, to portray that in the series. These episodes are so funny, so funny. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that episode. Even though when it first started off, I was kind of like, okay, what have we got going on here? This is kind of weird. It's black and white. Is there something wrong with the TV? You know, but anyway, it was a great episode. If you have, like I said, if you've never seen these episodes, you need to sit down and watch these episodes because they are a classic. Okay, now, before we go any farther, it's been sitting over here. I've been eyeballing it. I've been wanting it. Like I've always said, first cup, best cup.
That ought to keep him awake.
Good. Okay, now moving forward, we're going to jump in to another funny episode. If I'm not mistaken, because I've watched the seasons of this show several times, This is one of the only seasons, maybe there's another one, I'm not sure, but it's very rare that we have two funny episodes back to back. Usually there's something in there that breaks up the monotony a little bit, or there's a funny episode and then there's an episode where it goes back to more of the season plot based, and then another funny episode. But this is one of those where you have a funny episode that's back to back. In this episode, this is of course, it's season 4. It's episode 6, called Yellow Fever. In this episode, Dean and Sam visit a small Colorado town to investigate deaths tied to an illness that causes paranoia and fear and ends in a fatal heart attack for the victims. Now, while investigating this illness, they find out from Bobby that it's called ghost sickness. And basically what happens is those that are infected are dicks to people, bullies, that kind of thing. So naturally, I don't want to say naturally because Dean's not really considered a bully, but he does play a tough guy on some people. So he becomes infected. So now it's a race to find out what the cause is, what the cure is, before Dean is killed, dies. His paranoia and his fear slowly builds throughout the episode, and that's what makes this episode so funny. From being deathly scared of snakes, to heights, to driving fast, being chased by a little dog. I mean, he was so funny in this episode. It comes down to the point to where he doesn't even want to hunt anymore. He's so afraid of it. So, like I said, Sam ends up going to get help from Bobby to figure this whole thing out, because Dean's just not, he's not in the right frame of mind to do this stuff. Once again, like I said in the last episode, this episode allows Jensen to show off his comedic side to perfection. The one scene, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, you'll see it in the clip. They go into the factory, the lumberyard factory, to find out more about Luther Garland, who is supposedly the spirit that's causing all this. And they're searching the place, and they hear a sound coming from the locker, and Sam walks up to the locker, and he slowly opens the door, and a cat jumps out. Dean screams his bloody head off, and it is so funny in that it's to hear him scream like that. It's just hilarious. But basically what the plot is Luther Garland was a worker at the lumberyard who was not in the right mind like everybody else. He had mental problems. And he fell in love with one of the secretaries that worked at the lumberyard in the office, who was a married woman. When this woman mysteriously disappeared, her husband automatically assumed, after finding some of the drawings that Luther had done of his wife, automatically assumed that Luther had something to do with her disappearance, and he ended up killing Luther. So his spirit haunted all those that were dicks, that were mean to him or mean to anyone at all. There's also a scene in this episode where Dean does a little performance of Eye the Tiger, and it's an extra scene, but the way it was set up is, in that scene, it shows Dean laying down in the seat of the Impala, listening to Eye the Tiger and doing the drum work at the start. At that point, you'll see in the episode, when you watch the episode, that Sam walks up and knocks on the car and scares the crap out of him. Now, in this extra clip at the end of the episode, Jared misses his cue on purpose to see how Jensen is going to react to him not showing up like he's supposed to. So he ends up going through this whole spiel of lip singing and playing the guitar and all this stuff, and it was great. It's comedic genius, and you'll enjoy it when you watch it. But this episode has a fellow by the name of Jack Connolly, and he plays Sheriff Al Britton, who is infected with ghost sickness, and he's the first one that, not the first one, but one of the first people that Sam and Dean interview about the case. And he played in The Purge Anarchy, he's played in Traffic, and he played in The Fast and the Furious, which is one of my favorite movie collections. Then we have David Matty, who played Luther Garland, and he's done so much stuff. I mean, he's a big guy. He's played, in kids' movies. He's done cartoons, voiceovers, that kind of thing. He played in The Spy Next Door with Jackie Chan. He played in Hancock with Will Smith. And he's played in 3 episodes of Better Call Saul. So well-rounded. And we also have a surprise return of Sierra McCormick, who once again plays Lilith. Now, she plays Lilith because when Dean's infected with the ghost sickness, he starts having visions, and he has visions of Lilith, and Lilith talking about sending him back to hell and that kind of thing. But with all that being said, this was a great episode. Here are some scenes from Season 4, Episode 6, Yellow Fever.
Hold it a second, would you? Oh, sorry. Spleen juice.
Artificial sweetener, those Pez dispensers with their dead little eyes, lots of stuff.
So tell me, what was Frank like?
Don't be scared of Donnie. He's a sweetheart. It's Marie you gotta look out for. She smells fear.
You hear something?
Am I haunted? Am I haunted?
Our room's on the 4th floor. It's high. I'll see if I can move us down to the 1st.
Thanks.
Sure.
Oh, I'm not carrying that. It could go off. I'll man the flashlight.
You do that.
That was scary.
Plot thickens.
Yeah, but into what? It'll kill you!
right, there you go. Like I said, this is one of the funniest episodes, I think. This one was even funnier than Monster Movie. Now, the actor that played Dracula in Monster Movie, his acting was just over the top. It was so funny. But Dean stole the show in this episode, I think, just by playing Dean. I mean, he can do that and just play Dean and just be funny. He can be serious. It's a great episode. Both of these were great episodes. I enjoyed watching both of them very much so, even though I must say, in my personal opinion, I did like Yellow Fever a lot better than I did Monster Movie. But the plot in Yellow Fever, it was well written. It set everything up. To me, it was the perfect plot based episode, pretty much. With little spurts of comedic overtones, which was great. It was great. It was great. I assume that you have noticed the new background. I kind of switched things around a little bit. I've got a little bit of a sound system here going. Hopefully it's working good. I'm trying to get used to everything, and hopefully we can keep going in the right direction here. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this thing over here. But anyways, not showing off much. That's going to be all for this episode. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. I do enjoy talking, like I said so many times before, I do enjoy this show very much. I love talking about these episodes with y'all, going through these episodes. Like I said, keep subscribing to the channel if you're not subscribed. Please subscribe to the channel. Keep liking, keep watching, keep commenting. Like I said, even though I don't get a chance to always respond to your comments, I do read your comments, and they're all greatly appreciated, whether they're bad or good. Although, I gotta say, I haven't had any bad comments yet, but bad or good, they're all, everybody's opinion, and that's fine. Everybody's got one. I'll read them all. I do appreciate y'all tuning in with me every Sunday. While I'm still trying to get back on track with more than one episode a week, it's been kind of difficult, but we will get there eventually. So there are still stuff in the works that I've got planned, but it's on the back burner kind of, but we'll get it going. We'll get it going again. Just bear with us and stick with us, and we will see you guys next Sunday for another episode of Supernatural Sunday. Bye-bye.